So I'm just filming a short video about my macaron skirt, which is behind me. It's a little bit of an unusual piece of fashion compared to some of the other things in my closet, but I like it a lot and I wanted to share the story behind it. So this is an alternative fashion piece. It's actually from a kind of fashion called Lolita fashion, which is popular in Japan. And I got into it during 2020 as a means of escape. I just wanted to look at a lot of cute foofy dresses and imagine I'm not living in the terrible world that I in fact am living in. So the name is basically just to be cute and pretty and sound a little bit sweet. People in Japan don't really care that there's a book with the same name that's popular in America. The style is supposed to look a little bit old-fashioned. You can see some pieces have a bit of Victorian or Rococo inspiration to them. And the main rules of the fashion are you have to have a poofy skirt, you have to be somewhat feminine, and you should be a little bit modest. And within that, there are some additional rules, but there's also a fair amount of freedom. There are a couple different substyles with Lolita. A lot of people like the sweet substyle, which is, to my mind, the most childish and girly substyle. There's a lot of pink, there's a lot of pastels, there's a lot of chunky jewelry that looks like something you'd get at Claire's. And some of the styles are a little bit more over the top. And then you also have the Gothic Lolita style and the Classic Lolita style. And the Gothic is more close to traditional goth where the colors are dark and it's a bit more spooky. And Classical is a little bit more historical and the colors are lighter, but it's not quite as over the top cute as the sweet substyle. So although Lolita fashion originated in Japan, there are people who wear it around the world and people who design it around the world. The designer for my skirt is Lady Sloth, which is a Polish indie brand, and they're fairly small. But I really love their designs, and I think they have some of the most hilarious creative prints on their clothes. So as I was getting more into the fashion last year, I was keeping tabs on their Instagram, and I bought something. I think the name Lady Sloth comes from the idea that anyone can be a lady, even a sloth. And I relate to this concept a lot because I have a lot of trouble with sleep issues and chronic fatigue, so I am quite sloth-like a good portion of the time. This is my only piece of Lolita fashion. A lot of people will say, don't start with a skirt. Don't start with a skirt because you have to buy blouses to go with it and you have to buy more stuff and it's a lot of work. But I completely ignored this advice. The general advice is to start with a jumper skirt or JSK, which is essentially a dress without sleeves, so anything with a thinner shoulder straps, because you do have like less of the blouse underneath showing and you don't have to really think about what's going in this area because the dress will cover it. But it is still a little bit more versatile than a one-piece dress, which is a dress with sleeves, because you can wear different blouses under it and sort of emphasize different colors. So generally the common wisdom is to start with a JSK if you're getting into Lolita fashion and you do want to build a wardrobe, but I ignored that, as I've said, and I don't wear a lot of other Lolita pieces with the skirt. I just wear regular clothes with it. This skirt is a very light material, so it poofs out nicely. It has custom lace underneath and a white underskirt, and it does have pockets on either side, and it came with two separate sashes. One is pink and the other one is white. So I like that they gave you some accessories to start wearing with this piece. So I did mention the necessity of a poofy skirt, and you might be wondering, so how do you get your skirt poofy? Like, does it just come like that? And Most people will do one of two things to get their skirts poofy. They'll either wear a petticoat or a hoop skirt. And a hoop skirt has a wire in it and it stands out. And a petticoat will have some layers of tulle, like this one behind me, that make the skirt stand out. And this one is your cheapo Amazon petticoat, which is not what you're supposed to buy. It's not going to give you the biggest poof or be the highest quality, but it works for me as someone who is not very seriously into this fashion and just has one main piece. So here you can see all the nice layers. It's got 2 layers of tulle, and there is also a skirt underneath, so it's not that scratchy. And this was only like $15, and it does give that little bit of poof, so I'm happy with it. Taking a closer look at the skirt now so you can see the detail on the macarons. They're not just cookies. Some of them are little animals, like this little sheep here. And you can also see the stripe pattern on the fabric, which is not as obvious from far away. And even on the regular cookies, there's so much detail in the layers. And some of them have LS on them for lady sloth. There's this cute little corgi over here. I love it so much. And a little bee. Here's a close-up of the lace, which is also custom made to match the skirt. You can see the little macarons and cookies in it, and some LS for lady sloth again. And that's for this print, which is called My Lovely Macarons. And here's some video footage of me actually styling the skirt and posing very awkwardly. And here's the bow in the back. As you can see, I do style this in a pretty casual way because I am in my 30s and uncoordinated, and a giant head bow and pigtails and tons of accessories is not really my personal style, although I do love the boater hat. But this silhouette is kind of easier to wear if you're already short, skinny, and flat-chested, so I don't know, maybe this is a good fashion for me. And here's another close-up of just the skirt and the shoes, since the skirt is the main piece here. If you go to Lady Sloth's Instagram, you can see they have this same macaron print in pink and blue in addition to beige. So they really have a lot of options, but the beige was my favorite. I actually did wear this out in public once. This is my 33rd birthday, and my brother and sister-in-law gave me that really cute boater hat that matches the skirt perfectly. And here are just a few more styling photos that I took around my house. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed me spilling the tea on my alternative fashion. So I hope you liked my video about my one alternative fashion piece, and if you want to check out Lady Sloth or any other Lolita YouTubers or brands, then I definitely suggest you do so, because I had a lot of fun looking at all the gorgeous pictures and even doing a little shopping myself. Thanks for watching!